you don't have to go use now.
Right.
Reframe that ish into something more productive. And, one sponsor once told me, write down 10 things that you're grateful for. And you start writing down those things. You start thinking about those things that you're grateful for. And you realize that you do have a lot to be grateful for. And do 20 things. Write down 20 things you're grateful for. You'll start thinking, like, what am I grateful for? And you'll be like, wow, today wasn't so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how, maybe that. And then JX. Children, and he didn't axe. He put this as a topic. Children who are the result of addiction are directly affected by addiction. The result of addiction. I don't know what you're trying to say, Jay. So maybe just children that are affected by addiction.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just take out his lines and cross it out and make that the new one. So children, because I was not affected by addiction. Well, not addiction to drugs. And yes, alcohol is a drug. But there's other kinds of addictions. But I wasn't affected as a child. I wasn't affected like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know someone who was.
Yeah. My father was, who is now in recovery 13 years now, coming up on 14. Good job, Kaylin. Yeah. And so the majority or practically all of my childhood and my young adulthood and into my regular adulthood, my dad was a practicing alcoholic. And it was, I can say there were moments of embarrassment, I know, because of, just how his behavior. And there was isolation factors that came into play in terms of, like, my friendships. I know that, it wasn't a secret that my father was an alcoholic, but he was also a functioning alcoholic. And so he was, in society, and it was a small town. And so, I got through it, but when I got older and I started, drinking myself to an excess, he was my drinking buddy. So, and it was like, okay. I'm like, my dad had a good job and we had nice things and, he never hurt me. He never, we never went without. And so I never saw the actual nitty gritty awfulness, when I was young, as this equals alcoholic. This is what's going to happen. I didn't equate those two together. And so I was very naive about the seriousness of the disease. It was painful for me, because I knew he wasn't healthy with it, and I knew that it wasn't normal. I figured that out pretty quick. But it was almost like it was okay. And so, there was a lot of confusion with that, being an ACOA now, adult child of alcoholic. It made me extremely happy when he got sober, and himself, he didn't really utilize any particular program. So, he did what he did. He, made his own decisions on deciding. He was just, realized that alcohol had become a problem and decided to make some changes. And that's how he did it. And he's sober today. So congratulations, Dad, again. But it's tough. It was really tough.
Yeah, that's a different side of it that a lot of people don't even realize or or maybe I just haven't realized it, to see a child go through it, but, the dad or mom or whoever, the parent, still have a job and be functioning. So, yeah, you don't see I've lost the car, I've lost the house, the electric shut off, like they can hold it together long enough till that next drink, and sometimes they just drink on the job to hold it together. But, yeah, to go through that and not really see the consequences like in a negative way, just like, okay, yeah, we know it's not healthy, but.
I'll tell you what, though, it did catch up to him. I mean, he did lose everything. I mean, not everything to the point of, I don't know why we always say living under a bridge, but we do say that. But no, seriously, he lost a lot financially and, relationships, family, relationships with us kids, were definitely altered by his drinking. So, it's sad to remember those times, but I also had a lot, I don't know. It's hard. It's different for everybody. But.
I wonder if I should treat your dad different.
Why do you say that?
Well, because, they say the brain, when we start drinking, using drugs, it stops growing or aging or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, like, your dad's probably more like my age. He's not. He's a 30-year-old trapped in a 70-year-old's body, I think. And I'm like a 23-year-old trapped in a 22-year-old body, or 42-year-old body.
I gotcha.
I wish I was 22. But yeah, like, yo, bro.
If you want to try that, go ahead. Be my guest.
Go flip some hot stacks of wax.
What does that even mean?
Oh, your dad would know.
Oh, okay.
Spinning some records.
Oh, right. Never heard that before. Which is crazy because my dad loves vinyl records.
Yeah.
45s.
You know. Mm-hmm. Better not get myself involved in something that I don't know. Just saying. But, so, yeah. Thanks, Jay, for your question. Thanks, Dustin. I still think he was talking about the shower and being clean, but...
Okay, we'll have to ask him about that.
Maybe this is a recovery podcast, but sometimes we don't talk about recovery.
This is very true.
He's throwing you a screwball. And then Emily, thanks again for your input as well about dealing with people who drink or are using in sober living. So with all of that said, are there any other topics you would like to discuss today?
Those were good. Those were good topics.
They
Keep
really
them
were.
coming.
And then don't use cough syrup. No. Be careful with medicine, though. And it doesn't matter how long you have clean. Like I said, when I saw that alcohol in the bottle, alcohol 10%, it did do something. I mean, nothing I couldn't handle or immediately squash down and just shake my head.
Well, they do sell alcohol-free medicine, just so you know.
Yeah, well, this, like I said, it was the card. And I know the card's the good stuff, and I want the good stuff. And there was only one. And I looked at it, and I for a minute looked for alcohol, and on the bag it was too small. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't even know. I was like, the alcohol's so small in there, I thought it doesn't even really matter. I was more worried about, is it going to work?
Right.
Will I go to sleep? Because last night I took some stuff that was like anti-sleep. So I'm trying to go to sleep. It feels like someone is shoving a pencil up my nose into my sinuses, a very sharp one, and I can't go to sleep. And when I do fall asleep, it's for like 10 minutes, and I wake up, and that's right back to the same. And I'm just like, I'm looking at houses, and yeah, I don't know. It was just so like, and so I just wanted it to work. And the alcohol thing, like I said, I wasn't looking for it, and I did kind of glimpse to see, and I was like, well, I thought it would be clear as day on there, but then when I got the bottle, saw it, but yeah, it's not like I went out and sought it. I didn't seek it out because it had alcohol in it.
Mm-hmm. But you're feeling better now, so that's good.
Yeah. Be careful, though. Because I could see where that would trip some people up.
Right.
You know, if I was like 3 months in,
mm-hmm.
I would have went right to the liquor store. I mean, I don't know. I was on probation when I had 3 months in, so I probably wouldn't have. But if I was on my own, not on probation, that would not be a good thing. But then again, I don't know. If I was wanting to go drink, I would just go drink.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was looking for alcohol, I would just go buy alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what I'm trying to do. So, all right. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts if that's how you listen. A lot of people listen on Pandora, which is pretty cool. I was giving them hell for a long time, but I guess it works out for people now. So appreciate Pandora. Give them a little shout out. Google Podcast as well. Make sure you just like us, follow us. That way when we publish new episodes. YouTube, man, I need to, whatever. I know. That's what I think about YouTube right there. Mm-hmm. So you gotta I don't know, it's just a pain in the ass. But I just got a notification from one we did 3 days ago. Hey, new episode available. And they break it up in segments because I have 18 accounts. I don't know why. And you have to get verified on an account. And so, anyway. Thanks for listening, though. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening.
All right.
Night.
Talk to you on Thursday.